Harrington here with our Practice Makes Perfect podcast, Spain edition. Yes, as many of you know, I have a home in Spain. I'm married to Spaniard. My kids have Spanish, and we have an office here. And I do try to spend significant time in the summer, in particular, working out of this office. It's actually a staffed office. We keep it staffed year round. Not normally the only one here, but I am today. And listen, some of you have been very nice in, trying not to bother me when I'm in Spain, but I love you. Don't get me wrong. Thank you for the thought. But I'm not actually on vacation. I come over here, get out of the heat, and spend some time with the Spanish staff, but I'm still working. Sadly, disgracefully, it's not like I can vacation the whole summer. So, you can bother me. Keep it coming. But our topic for today, since I'm in Spain, let's talk about Spain. I mean, who doesn't love Spain? Come on. It's a good time. I just ran with the Bulls. Me and my son did it. It's actually my second time, but my first time as an old man, and I'll be honest with you, it does seem to make a difference. But if, as many of you do, I know because you talked to me about it, you have any interest in moving to Spain, there are a couple ways to do it. You can come over and become a citizen, or you can come over on a visa, and that's today's topic, so here we go. Our Practice Makes Perfect is the podcast for business owners and real estate investors, siempre con un cariño especial para los clientes extranjeros. Part 1, let's call it miscellaneous. All right, I do need to throw this out there. I studied in Spain. I spent a lot of time studying in Spain. I studied in Santiago de Compostela. I also studied in Barcelona on a couple of occasions. And I did my internship as a legal clerk at a law firm in Spain that's called Clifford Chance in Barcelona. So I guess those are my credentials. However, I am not a Spanish licensed attorney. So I got to give you that little disclaimer. We do have Spanish licensed attorneys associated with the law firm. So what I'm going to talk about today, I'm going to go over kind of quick and dirty because what you really are going to need is a consultation with one of my Spanish licensed attorneys who can go into further detail and actually analyze your situation. One last thing, I am going to do this same edition in Spanish next week. Wish me luck with that. Most people say my Spanish is pretty good. I mean, I've been here like 25 years, so it's not bad, but it's not my first language. But so look for that next week. Part 2. Okay, let's talk citizenship because many of you have some connection with Spain, and sometimes that connection is enough for you to be eligible to apply for Spanish citizenship. Let's break it down just a little bit. All right, this one's pretty straightforward. If you are the child of a Spanish father or mother, then you, just like in the USA, you probably have the right to claim Spanish citizenship. Okay, this was fairly straightforward, although it's a little different than what you're used to. You know how in the United States, if you're born in the States, then you're automatically an American, whether your parents are Americans or not, doesn't really matter. That's not the case here in Spain. You could be born in Spain and yet not have a right to Spanish citizenship unless one of your parents was also born in Spain, even if he or she is not actually a citizen, but was born in Spain. Sorry for the little wrinkle. Okay, this one comes up a lot. So if you are a child or a grandchild of a Spaniard who left the country due to harsh circumstances here, you guys know what I'm talking about. Franco's regime, I hear that was pretty rough, or the Spanish Civil War. If your ancestor left Spain due to circumstances such as those, you may very well be able to apply for Spanish citizenship. Those are the big ticket items for Spanish citizenship. Be aware, you might be required to renounce your other citizenship. Now, wink, wink, and I'm not the right person to talk about this, but there are some nuances to that. Be sure to get in touch so you can talk to one of my Spanish attorneys about that. Part 3. Okay, so now let's talk about visas. So maybe you don't want to get citizenship. That's not necessarily your goal, but you do want to come over here and live without having to leave every 3 or 6 months. All right, let's start out with this one because it's pretty traditional. Let's say you're an American and you have a pension, you're ready to retire. You might come to Spain as a retiree. Cost of living here is generally lower than in most parts of the United States, so that could be a good move. and there's a visa for that situation. The requirements are probably what you would expect in that situation. You got to demonstrate that you have enough income to not become a burden on the state. Same thing with the healthcare, because they have free healthcare here, the Spaniards do. So you're going to have to show that you have health insurance. So again, not to become a burden on the state, and then clean, criminal record, things like that. Just like in the US, there are work visas. You might qualify for that if you have an offer of employment. They have full-time work, they have seasonal work. I mean, that one's pretty similar to what we have in the United States. Here's one you might like. They have the golden visa. So if you're willing to put up $500,000 to buy real estate, or $1 million as an investment in a Spanish company, for example, then you might qualify for the coveted golden visa. Kind of like our EB5 visa that's, similarly for investors who put up a lot of money. It's beautiful. I mean, you got all the advantages. You can come and go as you want. You don't have to live in Spain full time. You have lots of advantages. It's a great visa if that's the way you're able to go. Okay, this is the one I really wanted to get to. Pay close attention here. This is actually a relatively new visa. It's called a digital nomad visa, and it became available in 2023. So it's pretty fresh. Maybe you haven't heard about this one, but it's cool. All right, this one, you will work for a company outside of Spain and live in Spain. That's why you're a nomad. Pretty cool, right? So, the requirements are what you might expect. You got to demonstrate that you work for a foreign company, and that you make a certain amount of money, call it $2,600 a month. You got to show that you're not going to be a burden on the state. You can do this with a university degree, or in lieu of a degree, 3 years of work experience. Okay, now here's a wrinkle for this digital nomad visa. It's only good for up to 5 years. You're going to have to renew in order to reach that 5-year mark, but this particular visa is only good for 5 years. Do not despair. If you like it and you want to stick around, then there's a pathway for you to become a permanent resident. So I would say this is a beautiful thing. These last two are pretty obvious, so let me just group them. You can, of course, come over as a student on a student visa, as I did those many years. And you could also come over as a family reunification if you're married to a Spaniard, as I am, or have a child or a parent over here. Now, in closing, and I would be remiss if I didn't bring this up, everybody loves Spain, yes, but be careful. Do not just throw your information out there on your own, because once it's out there, there's no pulling it back. Why do I say that? Why is that important? Tax implications. Remember, this is Europe. The taxation here in Spain is higher, by and large, than what you're used to in the United States. The tax authority here is called Hacienda. And so just like with the IRS, once the information is out there, it's out there. So don't go willy-nilly into this situation. Make sure you get informed beforehand. Bear in mind that this is something that our office does. So if we already have a relationship, or if you want to have a business relationship, please consider our office for your Spanish visas and or citizenship applications. And in case it wasn't obvious, hablamos español. No perfectamente, pero bastante bien. And don't forget, of course, the likes in the comments below. I will see you guys next week, and I will be speaking Spanish. So let's see how that goes.